Hello everyone, my name is Silver Willowwing and welcome back to Community Counsel. Once again, I apologize for the delay in these videos, and I've actually received a lot of my viewers asking me, where's Community Counsel? Let's get another Community Counsel. So it seems that people really like the series, and I think it's a really nice thing too that we talk about these issues and you guys get your input. I think that's really it's a good thing. So I'm really happy about the feedback I've gotten on this series. But let's jump right back into it, and with the first suggestion here from Flurry Whip. They should add free aim firing while riding a dragon. I mean, when you're riding your dragon, you can point your cursor or mouse or something to where you want to shoot. Dragons like Night Furies are very accurate in firing, and I don't like it when you have to move your dragon up and down, left and right, and struggle to aim at the target. I think this is a really nice thing because it opens up a more realistic aspect of dragons, because you can fly around and you can see something on the ground and you can aim specifically for that. And for battle it would also be useful. Of course there should be a certain range if you don't want people to just stay around, to just, spam it at them. But I think it's really nice because also with the battle you just shoot one specific spot, and if you're not exactly aiming at that spot, you're done so. It's not very accurate. So I definitely like this idea because you can shoot whatever. If you're role-playing with your friends, you can shoot them. You can shoot their dragon if you want to have fun with that. I think it's a really good idea because it does give the player more control over their dragon. So a very nice idea by Flurry Whip indeed. Then we have Blonde Fear Loop. They should move where we sit on the dragon because sometimes it looks like we're getting stabbed. This is very true. A specific example is the Skrill. It literally looks like the spike is going up through your bottom. Oh! Yeah! And it looks extremely painful. That's just one example. There's many of the other dragons where it just looks off when you're sitting on it, like, how do you do that? Are you okay? Because there's just spikes all over you. It's terrible. And I feel like, because with the Skrill it's kind of hard because the dragon has so many spikes, but then adjust it to the world of School of Dragons. Just take the spike and kind of bend it down a little bit so that you're at least sitting with one in front of you between your legs and one you're kind of sitting on, but it's folded more down so that the dragon is kind of moving it so you can actually sit on the dragon. Because we are riding dragons and you cannot ride a dragon that has spikes all over its back without being impaled. So I don't mind having one or two Skrill spikes that are kind of tilted down so you can sit on them comfortably and make it more realistic, because right now it's painful. I mean, how are you even doing that? You're merging with the spike. That's gotta hurt a lot. I mean, what the hell is going on? It's actually quite scary to look at, and it does break the immersion of the game. You're like, I am getting impaled, but I'm fine. Okay, I'm just immortal, I guess, or I'm a ghost. I don't have a physical form. So definitely think that's a good idea. And most of the dragons actually have that space for you to ride them because they are ridden in the movies, like Stormfly. She doesn't have spikes right there when you sit. She only has them on her tail and down further her back. I think in School Dragons they actually stick up on her back as well, but in the movie they're folded down, so they could do that in School Dragon as well. The Grunkle also has a relatively smooth surface. The Monster's Nightmare also has kind of, wobbly spikes, if you can call them that. Sibbleback as well also have these flaps kind of instead of spikes. The Night Fury's spikes start down the back and not right there where you sit. So like the dragon are kind of designed for you to sit on them. Like it can work out when you're sitting on them. So it shouldn't be too hard to just alter some of the dragons a little bit and get yourself to fit properly on your dragon without dying. That's all we're really asking for. Because some of them are really painful, really painful. I wouldn't want to sit on that if it was real. If I actually had the dragon there, I would be like, no, you're just a pet. So I will pet you. I'm not gonna get near that. So I think that's a good idea. I could definitely see that being implemented, and it would be so much more realistic. And as we also talked about in the previous episode, if we also get a mounting animation where you kind of get on your dragon and then sit on them, And then it also actuates so you don't get stabbed, so you don't crawl up just to die, right? It's like you're like a flying corpse just being impaled like a freaking barbecue spear or something, just flying, like getting stabbed. Can you imagine that? It's terrible, terrible. So definitely a good idea, good suggestion. Then we have Shy Kimchi, which had 2 ideas, and I'm mostly going to focus on the last one. Because the first one is a good idea still, but the last one is the one that's really intriguing. So she said they should add a feature to send dragons into the wild. Like if you accidentally got a dragon that you already have or don't want it, you can send him free. And if you and in your dragon's profile it will say released. And if you want your dragon back, you can do a mini quest to get him back without paying gold or gems. So this is something I have also been thinking about, because for players like me, or just for players that have more than 10 dragons or so, or 15 dragons, when you go into Thunder Run Racing, for example, or you want to do stable quests, you have to scroll so much to find the dragon you want, the specific dragon you want. So if you could have this feature where some of your dragons would be active dragons, dragons you bring with you in the field kinda, and you can select from these dragons and then you can ride them, and the rest you could kind of put aside into the wild or into an enclosure of some sort where you know that they are, and you can go pick them up in the stables, for example. You can just, like stable quests, you send them out and then you can call them back, or you get them back when they're done. Because then we would be free from that long list and loading a lot of dragon pictures, even though you're not even looking for those dragons right now. So you can have active dragons and then you can switch them out whenever you want to put more dragons in. And also just the overall feature of releasing the dragon so that it's gone. Like, you can't get it back. I have some dragons that I have double off that I just don't want anymore. And I don't need them anymore, so I would want to just release them, like get rid of them. Goodbye, right? But you can't do that now, you're just stuck with the dragon. So the idea of releasing, I think, is a good idea, but also the idea of having them somewhere you can get them back again and only have those active ones ready for you to go ahead and pick from. I think that's a very nice idea. Then we have Bored Potato. They should fix Hookfang. He looks like a nightmare whose body got turned into a cooled magma with lava through the lines. It's true. It's very true. The Monster's Nightmare are one of the models and animations that are suffering the most, because it is very old. And it's very stiff. And when it's flying, it looks like it's breaking its wings out of its socket on the shoulder. It looks absolutely terrible and horrifying beyond belief. Really scary stuff. The same goes for the hideous Stibbleback. The Grabble Grounder as well. A lot of the older models and some of the new ones. The Grabble Grounder is not that old, and that one is a nightmare. But specifically the Monster's Nightmare is suffering a lot. So much pain in that dragon. So they should probably give him a new texture as well, and then change the model and the animations overall. One thing is the skin, but the animation and the model is just not the Hookfang we know and love. It's not smooth, it's not beautiful, it's not good at all. It's just bad. Plain bad. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's not good. It might have worked like 3 years ago, but it's not working anymore. And I really think they should fix it, because we've seen them fix animations. The Rumblehorn got great animations, the Stormcutter got great animations, Snow Wraith, amazing animations that they updated later on. So go ahead and help the Monster's Nightmare out, because he is suffering and he needs help. So that was all the suggestions for this week. I also would like to mention out some results we actually got from Community Council. And it's not entirely because of the Community Council, I'm pretty sure, because other people have complained about it, but it was definitely us as a community that fixed this, and that's the Synth Tail. In a previous episode I talked about the Synth Tail's neck going out of freaking proportion when it was gliding. They fixed that finally, and the Synth Tail is flying like a normal dragon now, which is really good, and it's a nice result. It took a while, took a very long time to actually fix this, but it's definitely better, and I'm glad that it finally did get fixed, rather than them just ignoring it. So that's a really nice result. I'm gonna keep watching all the previous problems we've talked about and see if we actually got a fix for them, because it's really interesting to see when we finally get results on this community council with some of the suggestions. So thank you so much for leaving those suggestions. It's very fun to make these community council videos. I will once again try to keep them more steady, and maybe once a month have one coming up, because I enjoy engaging with you guys in this show. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Feel free to leave suggestions, anything you would like to see fixed in School of Dragons, let me know. And once again, let me remind you to check back the other community council videos, because I see a lot of the same suggestions, and you are allowed to make them, but I will just not pick them because we have already talked about them. So please keep that in mind when you make a suggestion. Hopefully I'll see you next time. So long, Dragon Riders.